Then I'll settle.
You nervous?
Nah. Hello everyone and welcome to the finale of the EPFA Four Nations 2023 hosted in Munich, Germany. It's been quite a journey up until this point. We've seen the countries of Germany, Austria, Italy and Switzerland all competing with one another in a bid to become champions of this centralised region within Europe. Full credit to the European Power Chair Football Association for the work they've done to deliver this tournament, our host Germany, in what they've done to host us at this incredible venue on the outskirts of Germany, of Munich, sorry. But a brilliant competition overall. Just to introduce you to my co-commentator for the final time this weekend before we discuss what's happened over the last day or so. Once again, European champion Greg Baxter, how are you?
Once more he gets it in there.
Last time.
Absolutely fine. Willkommen zum Finale. Welcome to the final. The atmosphere is building.
It certainly is.
And I am very much looking forward to what should be a great game to finish off what has been a great tournament this weekend.
No, I really do agree. We've had the privilege of commentating on all of the games thus far, 7 up until this point. So there was initial round robin or group stage which saw all the countries face every other competing team at least once. Germany drew 2-2 with Austria to open proceedings, and that almost seems a long time ago now, but it was only yesterday morning. They now meet in the highly anticipated final of the EPFA Four Nations, and really can't call it. Incredibly competitive. The competition's been throughout. Commiserations to Switzerland, who have struggled, but them aside, all of Italy, Austria and Germany could have staked a claim to be in this final, if not to be the eventual champions. But we're ready. I can see the teams gathering to our right. We'll go through the squads quickly before I give a brief word about our sponsor. And then myself and Mr. Baxter will bring you live coverage of the EPFA Four Nations final. So, to go through the Germany squad, Greg?
Well, my best German. So, for the hosts in the final this afternoon, Germany have number 7, Felicitas Fischer, number 8, and captain Marco Roman, 9, Efe Can Onanmis, 10, Acacio Cossa, 12, Ludwig Leinweber, 13, Romy Pochka, 14, Johannes Koch, and 55, Daniel Oleg. They're coached by Nuri Onanmis and Kay Roman and Ryan, their Austrian opponents.
Absolutely. So the Austrians squad goes as follows. Number 1, Arthur Wollmann. Number 2, Winfried Zwanziger. Number 4, current top goal scorer of the EPFA Four Nations 2023, Carolina Schongai. Number 5, Moritz Ziegner. Number 6, Jakob Schriefel, who's back following a suspension of Austria's last group game against Switzerland. Number 8, Michael Kiefler. Number 10, Ilias Jusic. And number 11, Henry Ziegner, their coach, the ever impressive, ever animated Leo Vasili. I hope our cameras can pan onto him at some point throughout the game. You can see how much of a character and enigma he is for the Power Chair football game, certainly within Europe, if not the world. The teams are lining up to our right, and we'll shortly get underway for this final fixture myself and Greg have been talking off air. We cannot wait. When the two teams met in the group stage, the first game yesterday morning at 10:15, we thought Germany had it in the bag. They started the game incredibly strong, registering 2 goals, 2 from FA Can Onan miss, but Austria adapted accordingly and were the better side in the second, scoring 2, and could have almost won the game. We've been very, trying to think the best way to describe it, but very perplexed by the varied lineups and tactics adopted by the Austrians. They've got a lot of talented players. So even to this point, we could probably predict the German team. The Austrians, on the other hand, certainly with the reintroduction of their captain Jakob Schreifel, I don't know how they're going to line up, and that could play a key role into how they perform within this game. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I will reserve any sort of prediction until I know which 4 will take to the court first for Austria.
Yeah.
Their squad depth this tournament has been exceptional.
Yeah, it really has. Just prior to the game, we will observe the national anthem, starting with Germany, followed by Austria. So we'll keep on stream, but we will stand to observe them.
Well, those of us who can, Ryan.
Apologies, Greg.
Oh. That's it, you cancelled. I'll carry the rest of the final.
Just a quick word from one of our sponsors, BVS Bayern, the Disabled and Rehabilitation Sports Association Bavaria, which is an organisation based here in Bavaria, Germany, dedicated to promoting and supporting sports activities for people with disabilities and those undergoing rehabilitation. BVS Bayern play a significant role in fostering inclusion, enhancing physical well-being and improving the overall quality of life for individuals with disability. Huge thank you to them for the support they provided for this tournament. As our match officials in the central referee Millie Bean and assistant referees Carolyn Bean, Gerrit Weiland, a fourth official in Nordin Subovic, lead the teams onto the field. Let's remove the graphics so you can observe them coming on, and then we'll have the national anthems. If you didn't know already, you unfortunately have myself, Ryan Sipple and Greg Baxter providing commentary for this final game, and I just don't know how to call it. Really, really excited for this one, and if it's as good as their initial meeting in the group stages, we're in for a treat, as are all of you. So Germany lining up on the left, Austria to the right, our match officials in the centre. If it didn't need explaining already, Germany adorning the bright white kit, their goalkeepers in blue, Austria in red, goalkeepers in purple. We'll now take a pause to observe the national anthem, starting with Germany, followed by Austria. Now for the national anthem of their challengers, Austria. That's the formalities done. Let's get some competitive football going.
Two impeccably well observed national anthems.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got our Austrian fans to our left, German to our right, and we are ready to get things underway for this final game between Germany and Austria. Just confirmation of that game on your screens. We'll strive to bring you all of the action.
Same again as I did in the previous game between Italy and Switzerland. Notice Cassio Costa, number 10, adorning that goalkeeper jersey for Germany. He has worn before once in this tournament.
I think that Romy Puch is going to start in goal. That's been kind of the Germans' pick for their more competitive fixtures in this tournament. Likewise with Austria opting to choose Jakob Schreifel as opposed to Arthur Vollmann. But as we look across us here, there's talent everywhere you look. Particular mentions, as we say, Carolina Songai on your far top right-hand corner, currently obstructed by the graphic current top goal scorer. We've got Henry Ziegner, who's very animated, has shown his quality. Ilyash Jusic stepped up in the absence of his captain, Jakob Schreifel, following that suspension. Arthur Vollmann and Winfried Zwanziger, Moritz Ziegner and Michael Kiefler all playing and contributing to the Austrian success up until this point. Likewise with the Germans, Romy Puch and Cassio Costa. They're adorning the goalkeeper jerseys currently, but both have played roles in varied positions. Marco Roman, arguably the standout player for the hosts. And they've got goals. If I can show you the current top goal scorer chart, you'll clearly see that a number of them have registered goals to stake a claim to be top goal scorer. Currently, Danny Olek and Efe Can Onanmis sit 3 behind Carolina Songai in the standings. Marco Roman a bit lower down with 3 finishes. Worth noting, 8 goals in 1 game for Carolina Songai. She had a hat-trick against Switzerland within 2 minutes of the start of the game. Incredibly impressive feat for the Austrian number 4.
Still wait to see what this Austrian starting lineup will be.
It's been a mystery to us throughout the tournament. If I was to predict it, I'm thinking they're going to go as they have for a lot of their other competitive games. Winfried Zwanziger, the number 2, currently between the goalposts, will probably start the game. Jakob Schreifel in the centre, or despite adorning the goalkeeper jersey, will play that pivotal role in contributing in attacking and defensive phases of play. Ilyash Jusic surely will start. And then it's a choice between Carolina Songai and Henry Ziegner as to who starts. Okay,
swap of
I think that
ends.
for the first time this competition, across the 8 games that we've had, or this being the 8th, Austria have opted to switch sides. So Austria looking like they'll be shooting from left to right, Germany from right to left.
Clearly the wind is blowing stronger in one direction in this hall than the other. Whoever chose to swap, you could argue in the second half they will be shooting towards the end that has their fans behind.
Okay, so yeah, what we've now acknowledged is the 4 players for Germany have all but presented themselves.
I know my stuff, Ryan. Cassio Costa in goal for the Germans.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting. He's been impressive, but hasn't necessarily been utilised in that most defensive role. Daniel Olek in the side, been impressive. Nico F8 Can Onanmis back in the starting four, having not featured in their last group game against Italy. As was mentioned, the ever-present Marco Roman in the centre. And very interestingly for Austria, for the first time this tournament, I think they're opting to start Michael Kiefler, Jakob Schreifel in front with Henry Ziegner and Ilias Jusic either side.
This is the starting lineup I've been wanting to see, but I feel it's rather harsh.
On Zwanziger?
No, potentially, but on Carolina Songai, who is our top goal scorer.
Agreed, but she's got a 3-goal cushion, and I have no question she will feature. We spoke about how effective the Austrians were capitalising on kind of fatigue later in the second half.
Here we go.
Millie Bean blows her whistle to get things underway. Immediate pressure from Marco Roman, getting 3 players up the field of play. Met by Jakob Schreifel. I wonder how seamlessly he will slot into proceedings, having missed the last game through suspension. Daniel Olek trying to force a way round the Austrian captain. It goes out for a German corner early on. Thank you to all that are joining us across our YouTube stream. We hope you've enjoyed the games thus far, but this is the big one, the finale. And I don't know how to call it.
Strap in, get the popcorn. This should bring fireworks.
Daniel Olek to take, fired into the box, cleared by Michael Kiefler. It's going to be a second successive corner kick. He has the option of Marco Roman on the edge, but he's closely marked by Ilias Jusic. F.A. Can Onanmis, the scorer of 5 goals at the back post. Marco Roman guides it over to F.A. Can Onanmis, blocked by Michael Kiefler. Didn't quite get the timing on that shot to put it on target, but great early pressure from our hosts, who are looking to assert their dominance and authority early on.
What a chance.
Really
You're
was.
looking for those. Great play from Germany, trying to play back to the goalkeeper, Akasia Kosovic. Kind of backfired now because Austria breaking down the court to the 3v2.
Roman switches play. F.A. Can Onanmis can't quite find Daniel Olek on the right-hand wing because Jakob Schreifel cut it out. But already I can tell that as soon as Austria settle into their rhythm, we're going to have some end-to-end stuff. Jusic not quite making the connection to find Henry Ziegner on the left-hand side. I think I'm right in saying, Greg, this is the first time that Austria fielded this starting four.
Yep.
Is that a risky tactic to adopt, having not practiced with it in the competition so far?
As I said, this is the starting lineup as Henry Ziegner goes 1v1 with Akasia Kosa. Marco Roman needs to get back and recover. This is the starting lineup I've been wanting to see from Austria.
Schreifel to Jusic. Gets the better of Roman, just goes down the left-hand wing. Out for a corner kick, I think.
If these opening 3 minutes are anything to go by, we're in for an absolute cracker of a game, right?
Yeah, we really are.
That chance, right, I'm just going to say that chance for Germany from the other corner. You're looking for those players in these big games that are switched on from the first minute, because you never know how many of those chances you're going to get.
Ilias Jusic readying himself to take. Jakob Schreifel hugged by Daniel Olek on the edge of the German box. Into Schreifel, sends it goal bound. A slight ricochet off of Roman's chair. Cassio Cossa has to be alert. The pressure is still there from the Austrian captain, who's going to try and find the space between the two defensive Germans. Jusic just backing off to allow his captain the space to operate. Cossa now with a chance to break. He's going to try and squeeze between the two Austrian chairs of Schreifel and Jusic. I always love it when it's hard to project your voice over the atmosphere here in the sports venue.
What I really like that Akasia Costa did there as he was driving down the field was he hugged to the right-hand side, which meant Jakob Schreifel, who is wearing the goalkeeper jersey, found it difficult to get back in that box. And that's a poorly taken free kick. But he's got away with it because Daniel Olek
didn't give the 5 metres.
a bit too keen.
Signalled by our referee, Millie Bean. Fast-paced start, opening 4 or so minutes.
Can he, Schriefel, get some better contact on this one?
Schriefel
To Henry Ziegner.
Ziegner that time.
The two captains with their battle there, which one will take and accept that kick in. Just telling Efekan and Ames he has got Henry Ziegner parked behind him. Ziegner, a player who plays with such passion, and intercepts that ball to Jusic, whose first time shot was straight to the Casio Cossa.
Yeah, Roman now with a chance to break. Quickly met by Jakob Schreifel, a very aggressive player, and I mean that in the best possible way. It worked against him in that fixture against Italy, which saw him receive 2 yellow cards, but that's what makes him effective in breaking up play. As a nice pick-off from the front of Henry Ziegner, guides it into the top left-hand corner. A chance potentially for Austria to adopt a higher press, preventing Germany from breaking the lines and counter-attacking. Keep an eye on Ilyas Jusic, his positioning will be crucial. He's going to try and close down Marco Roman now. Dispossesses Henry Ziegner in a world of space on the right-hand side. If he's able to find him.
Such an open and attacking, expansive start to this final. Just 6 minutes in.
Henry Ziegner surely too close. Advantage allowed by Millie Bean. Eventually she gives the 2-on-1, rightfully so, against Austria.
Marco Roman with this free kick to Daniel Oleg. Back to Roman, trying to find Efekan and Ames on this left-hand side. He has done. Jakob Schriefel doing well just to drive that ball away. And Ames leaves it to Roman. Schriefel has got Henry Ziegner in the middle.
Yeah.
He's been dispossessed.
Roman's done incredibly well. He's advanced into the Austria box. Michael Kiefler called into defensive duties. Over to Daniel Oleg on the right-hand side. An attempted effort just wide of the right-hand post. You can feel the intensity, the speed of the game. Certainly from our perspective, Greg, I think it feels like it's the fastest, most progressive game we've had in the competition so far. You've cited the fact that that goal kick has caused Austria issues throughout the tournament. Keep an eye on them throughout. You've seen Efekan Onanmis now regain possession for Germany. Henry Ziegner, fortunate flick. The facial expressions that surely went out of play.
Oh, I thought that had gone out of play, definitely. Henry Ziegner, I've mentioned before, such passion.
Yeah, Efekan Onanmis very close to Marco Roman. Back to Roman in the centre, just controls it with the back left wheel. Very aggressive in his dispossessing technique, Henry Ziegner, but is successful on that occasion. Jusic lets it run to Jakob Schriefel. It's almost hard to commentate, such a fast pace. Schreifel, Jusic going to surely look for the diagonal passes, forces an effort at goal. Casio Cossa called to make a save. Daniel Oleg does well to trap the ball. Jakob Schriefel there to pressure. Advantage allowed by Millie Bean. Flicked back to Henry Ziegner. Over to Ilyas Jusic. They actually not quite on that pass from Henry Ziegner, but Jakob Schriefel continues the attack.
Great passing in. There's a charge for Jakob Schriefel. Oh,
really well worked opportunity, as you just said, Greg, and it had Jakob Schriefel made connection with that ball and fired it across the face of goal. Ilyas Jusic was there to capitalise. Just under 9 minutes gone. Germany 0, Austria 0.
Both coaches, both teams very vocal, and that is a miss-hit goal kick from Casio Cossa. Marco Roman reacted very quickly to mop up there.
The German captain did brilliantly, but the pressure still mounting from the Austrian. Ziegner 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Germany. That's the respite they needed following that Akacio Kossa mistake. And that's when we was talking about utilising Kossa in a position he hasn't played too many minutes in within the EPFA Four Nations 2023. Would always come with associated risks. There's a lot of pace on that ball. Jusic would do incredibly well if he kept it in. Potentially could have stayed in reverse, but a lot of pace nonetheless.
Wingers staying in reverse.
It's something I don't think has necessarily caught on in these developing nations.
Both captains again, battling.
Contact allowed.
Ilyas Jusic.
Just got too much contact, just glued to the front of his chair and was flicked out of play. Marco Roman, 10 minutes gone. Well played by Daniel Olek just to get the better of Ilyas Jusic. And he's awarded the eventual kick-in. Marco Roman coming over to take. EPFA Cannon is fairly isolated throughout this first half. An incredible earlier chance, but since then, I think Austria have settled and have arguably been the better of the two sides. But this is what we spoke about, how similarly matched the two are. Certainly when they have the correct attacking formations and starting four. And we're seeing that with Austria. Begs the question why they haven't utilised it in the competition so far, but they're doing it when it matters. As Daniel Olek across the box, blocked by Jakob Schriefel.
Don't know why Jakob Schreifel's come out of the box there. Giving away 2-on-1 far too easy and giving Germany a very good opportunity. Got to be said, these first 11 minutes have absolutely flown by.
They really have. It's just that high speed and intensity that both are putting in. Can they make this last the full 40 minutes? That is the question. Both have options on the bench. We'll run you through them in just a moment. But Marco Roman into Olek, gets the pick off back to his captain, but wasn't quite at the correct orientation or angle for Roman to capitalise or recycle that attack, allowing Ilyas Jusic to regain possession. A chance. Daniel Olek angles his chair accordingly to guide it goal bound. Michael Kiefler crucial in clearing that off the Austrian goal line.
What a pass. What a pass that was from Marco Roman, and a cheeky effort. And it's all Daniel Olek could do. Just guide it on target. Michael Kiefler alert to the danger. Both sides enjoying periods of dominance at different points in this first half.
Just a short discussion off the ball between Roman and Daniel Olek. Roman has since positioned his chair in between Ilyas Jusic and Jakob Schriefel. He lets it, I can see the idea, he wanted to try and dummy that and let it run all the way back to his number 9 winger, EPFA Cannon, but just clips the front of his chair, fragmenting that German attack. Ziegner now tried to find Jusic, couldn't quite get the angle. Return pass finds it to the Austrian number 10, and again, it's just that slightest touch and a few seconds difference that can make all the difference between an effective, accurate pass and one that is easily intercepted.
These kickings down the line are not working for Germany. Henry Ziegler's had 3 or 4 now where he's just picked them off. And if Ilyas Jusic would sit up the field a bit more, can get on a few of the end of these and launch many Austrian counter-attacks. So that's a nice pass from Roman. It's down to a Namis, but it's worked out for Henry Ziegler.
I would like to have seen him kind of take possession of that ball. Ilyas Jusic was well marked by the German captain, and now it's EPFA Cannon trying that diagonal cutting pass, misplaces that control, goes back, thankfully out of play for a Germany ball.
It's a little bit like organised chaos. Would you put it that? Would you say
It's surely got to settle as the game progresses. I'd be impressed if these teams maintain this sort of tempo. Ziegner, and there's an open goal. As Akacio Kossa completely unaware of the control, and it's Henry Ziegner who puts the challengers 1-0 up, 14 minutes in. Really strange mistake made by Cassio Costa. He was so deep, so advanced.
Some blame has to be portioned to the ball from Marco Roman there. Straight to Henry Ziegner. I mentioned it before. These passes been finding him too often. And now the Germans need to get back into this game. Try and relax. Don't panic. There's plenty of time left. They've had some chances, especially that early one.
They're still playing a risky game, Germany. They're committing their two wingers high and wide in the Austrian half. Look at the position of Jusic and Ziegner. If Schreifel can find Jusic, which he does, he's on the edge to receive a return pass. Can't quite make it. Jusic couldn't connect with the 180 spin kick. Daniel Olek coming back to aid his defence. But Austria in the ascendancy, looking to double their advantage. Jusic now.
He'll take the corner. Germany really need to settle. There was a 2-on-1 there. Referee Millie Bean playing the advantage. Ball just ricocheting off Roman's chair, going out for the corner. Austria really in the ascendancy.
Ilias Jusic to take Jakob Schreif in a lot of space. Flicks it goal bound, cleared off the line by the back wheel of Cassio Costa. Now a chance for Germany to break. Michael Kiefer called into defensive duties in the German half. Has to restrict the movement of FA Cano Namis. Ziegner quick to get back and regain possession. Jusic in support to his left, who he tries to find. Marco Roman quick to intercept. Such fast pace, we say it time and time again. But there hasn't been a moment's rest for either of these nations in the EPFA Four Nations final. Daniel Olek does well to keep it in play. Roman back to Olek, good choice. Good flick by Ilias Jusic. Cassio Costa utilising the front of his bumper to try and get it as far up the court as possible. Ziegner with a pass back to Schreifel. Hasn't had much involvement in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Jusic into the side of Roman's chair. Good positioning from the German captain. Demonstrates a very credible game understanding, does Marco Roman. And surely any success that Germany have will be spearheaded by the number 8. He's come over to take this kick in on the far right-hand side. Olek between Schreifel and Jusic once again. Into the side of Michael Kiefler's chair.
Trying to catch out that Austrian wall like they did the Italian one.
Exactly that, exactly that. The only difference is the fact that it was Daniel Olek taking the set piece, but I think Michael Kiefler has probably observed that kind of that technique and that approach from the Germans. So he's leaving no space between himself and that right-hand post. Fortunately for him, comes off the post in that attempt from Marco Roman, going out for an Austria goal kick, which was taken by Jakob Schreifel. Very quickly taken. Don't want to see any complacency setting in. FA Cano Namis quick to intercept. Roman meeting the alternate captain, Jakob Schreifel, on the edge of the Austrian box, but now dribbled into the half of Germany. 1.5 minutes remaining there or thereabouts, plus any additional time that our referee, Millie Bean, has accrued.
A pulsating first half.
It really has. As you said earlier, it's absolutely flown by. Thank you to all that are tuning in to listen to myself and Greg commentate this last
Radio
game.
EPFA. Great little flick inside Ilias Jusic.
Ziegner into the side of Roman's chair. You look at the contrasting emotions of Roman and Ziegner. Roman has such an excellent poker face. Picking out these passes are excellent between these two. Just took a crucial clip off the front of Ziegner's chair, but that's what the Germans do so effectively. And a lot of their success across this tournament has come from a number of short, snappy, accurate passes which open up the space for their wingers to exploit. Roman now back to his goalkeeper, Cassio Costa. Ziegner intercepts. Over to Jusic. Roman. Olek. Would have liked to have seen him be more forceful in trying to utilise his front bumper there. Back to Roman. Just got caught up with Efekan Onanmis as a result of his hesitation. But in the final 30 seconds, barring late drama from the German side, it looks like Austria will go into the half-time break with that 1-goal advantage, meaning the Germans will have around 20 minutes to find an answer. Millibee just having a short discussion with Efekan Onanmis. She won't take any too much contact from these players.
You've got to think here, look, 3 Austrian players back, probably on the other edge of the box. Henry Ziegner's the only option.
We've had the regulation 20, so whether they're just trying to work that clock down, game management will play a crucial role in them trying to see this result over the line. Late 2-on-1, 20 seconds into additional time.
I don't think the German risk of putting a Cassio Costa in between the sticks for this final has really paid off the way they were hoping it would.
Not if they're not adopting that kind of 4-out expansive system. When he's a very deep goalkeeper, I think that would have better or benefited Romy Puchmore. But half-time, Germany 0, Austria 1, a single Henry Ziegner goal after I'm not sure what minute, but a great half overall. And can't wait for more of the same in the second. The Germans have a metaphorical mountain to climb. They're going to want to get back into this as soon as possible to leave that lasting legacy in their host nation. The German support has been fantastic over on the right-hand side, and I'm sure they'll want to do them proud if they haven't already. We have to say, for all of these nations, Switzerland, Italy, Austria and Germany have done themselves proud, irrelevant of how or where they've finished in the standings or who will lift the championship at the end. But brilliant overall. But thank you to all that are joining. Myself and Greg, join us shortly for an action-packed second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the second half of the finale. Myself and Greg Baxter bringing you commentary of Germany versus Austria, currently separated by a single Henry Siegner strike for Austria. Cannot wait for the second half. Let's just go through them squads quickly, and Greg can talk about kind of the subs that are at the utilisation of Germany should they wish to change it. They have to try and get back in this game somehow.
Yep. So that starting lineup you saw in that first half: Marco Roman, Efe Kananamis, Ocasio Cossa, and Daniel Oleg. Their options on the bench: number 7, Felicitas Fischer; 12, Ludwig Leinweber, who's shown some very promising moments at this tournament.
Yeah.
13, Robbie Pochk; and 14, Johannes Koch. And their coaches, Nuri Onanmis and Kai Roman, looking to maybe...
It's looking like they're going to start the second half as they finished the first. We thought it was interesting that they opted to choose Ocasio Cossa as their goalkeeper as we get things underway here in Munich, Germany. 20 minutes remaining. If this is to end in a draw, we will have extra time, which will be contested by 2 10-minute halves. And if it is yet to be separated after that, the EPFA Four Nations 2023 will go to penalties. Roman, great pass to Efe Kananamis, couldn't quite get the timing. Oh, Jusic and Schreifel caught in two minds, thought the other was advancing onto that loose ball.
They were caught in 4 minds there, because Roman and Efe Kananamis were also caught between going for the ball and staying. That's what I like to see, though. When they play it down the line, that front bumper from Oleg has to be punchy. Needs more pace on it, so Roman has the time and space to play the pass wide into Efe Kananamis, who on that occasion didn't quite connect with it as well as he would have liked. Bit like Daniel Oleg there.
Exactly what you just said, Greg. You want them pick-offs, them front bumper passes to be punchy, and it wasn't on that occasion. Really commit to it, and I have no doubt that the German coaches in Yuri Ananmis and Kai Roman are relaying that information. You can't see on your screens, but Leo Vasili, the Austrian coach, very animated on the touchline. Good intent from Henry Siegner. It's worth noting, if you're taking the EPFA Cup 2022, which was in Geneva last year, as your point of reference for how you think these teams will achieve, you need to kind of reset that expectation. Austria struggled in that tournament, finished second bottom, only to Switzerland. Germany finishing third, achieving European qualification, who are on the attack now. Daniel Oleg was present in Geneva, fires it across the box. Efe Kananamis cleared off the line by Michael Kiefler brilliantly, who has been exceptional in this final so far. And Streifel advancing out of his box. I don't think Kiefler on that occasion was quick enough to drop off to allow his captain the space. So 2-on-1 indirect free kick will resume play.
I've stressed it all weekend. Wingers staying in reverse gives you options, and you saw that there. Daniel Oleg, a brilliant 180 ball across, and it was an exceptional save from Michael Kiefler, denying Efe Kananamis his 6th goal of the tournament, and Germany's equaliser. Interesting setup here.
Very interesting. Fired into the box, trying to opt to find Marco Roman. He was trying to angle his chair in such a fashion that any contact from Daniel Oleg could have advanced over the Austrian goal line, but play will resume with an indirect free kick. Michael Kiefler to take, again opting to use that very short, snappy pass into the side of Jakob Schriefel, inviting that immediate pressure from Efe Kananamis and Germany. But a brilliant start to this second half. Exactly how the first finished.
This is the mindset now, the battle of the mindsets, where the psychological sort of battle starts with Austria. You know, you have something to protect, naturally you're going to start playing more safe. Or playing safer, sorry, poor English there. Playing safer football, not wanting to risk losing that advantage that you have, and that should be a 2-on-1 there. And it is between Roman on Anamis.
Yeah, we spoke about the German substitutions and the ones they have at their disposal should they wish to use them in the final. We didn't speak about the Austrians. They have Artur Vollmann, who has impressed myself and Greg across this tournament. Winfried Zwanziger has been a fairly constant presence within the Austrian defence, not utilised in this final game. They also have Moritz Siegner and the current top goal scorer, Carolina Songai. We were shocked that she wasn't featuring as one of the starting four, but the fact that they have Songai at their disposal to utilise throughout this game as Germany potentially fatigue, she'll no doubt have every ambition of being registered top goal scorer, but no doubt would want Austria to be named champions before that individual accolade. Henry Siegner into the side of Roman's chair. Streufel tries to just nick it off the back of Roman's chair, and an opportunity for Streufel to try and guide it in that right-hand post, met by a very stubborn Ocasio Cossa, who's been untested in the second half thus far.
Needs to try and find a pass if he can. Jakub does break to Ilias Jusic on this left-hand side, who has just lost the ball behind him. And that, fortunately for him, it will go out for an Austrian kick-in. Streufel telling his number 10 to go down the line. Henry Siegner's in a lot of space as the German fans away to our right try and crank up the atmosphere and get behind their side as they look for an equaliser. Cossa playing that off. Sorry, Siegner playing that off Cossa. Streufel in there.
It's good pressure from Austria. You can see the attacking work of Streufel, Siegner and Jusic, and how animated Leo Vasili is on the touchline. Really encouraging his team to be more expansive and take risks. Just took a nick off of the front of Streifel's chair. Well observed by our assistant referee, Carolyn Bean.
Marco Roman now.
Marco Roman. Apologies, just took my headphones off and then rudely interrupted you.
Just can't get the staff these days, right?
No, you can't. Don't worry, it's the last game. You won't have to listen to me in your ears for much longer.
Hallelujah.
Just make sure you're not sitting next to me at dinner tonight.
I'll be in a different restaurant, don't you worry.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. FA Can and Anmis, three very deep German players. As Roman just evades Siegner.
Both sides. So battling for supremacy. Ziegler plays a lovely ball through to
over to
Jusic.
Gets the pick off, cleared off the line, or certainly goal bound from Ocasio Cossa. The warning signs are there, and I wouldn't want to say it, but surely a second Austrian goal would really harm Germany's chances of getting back into this game.
Well, that's a certainty. A second goal really does give them that, as you said, metaphorical mountain decline.
It just means that Austria can really manage the game out, and whether or not it's pretty or an attractive side of play, as long as they're effective in preventing the Germans from attacking, they will be crowned EPFA Four Nations champions. Henry Siegner on the edge, attempted effort at goal, cleared. Now 2-on-1 as Daniel Olek tried to guide it over to FA Cano Namis. There's visible signs of frustration from the German coaches to our right, who recognise how credible a chance that was, and Jusic up the other end nearly could pick out Jakob Streufel unmarked at the left-hand post, but a strong German wall between Ocasio Cossa and Marco Roman prevents that from happening.
It's end-to-end football. Germany there nearly on a counter-attack. Ziegler there trying to catch out the gap between Roman and Cossa. Olek doing a good job to reverse out the way of his captain to avoid the 2-on-1, and As Roman's the outside man, he wins the kick in for his country. 8.5 minutes have gone in this second half.
I was just
where have they gone?
I was just going to say to you, Greg, this is certainly, within my opinion, the highest tempo, most exciting game so far. You expect that from a final, but it's never necessarily a certainty. Some teams can be very pragmatic, defensive, and just try to capitalise on counter-attacks. Neither side here is doing that. They're both fighting fire with fire, but the Germans have just over 10 minutes left to try and source an equaliser. Good interception from Ziegner. Kossa dispossessed by Ziegner. A chance for Ziegner and Jusic in support. Flicked backwards. Streifel over to the number 10. Tries to find the gap into the front of Marco Roman's chair. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
A lady.
He was waiting for that.
Set up on a plate for me, mate. As Marco Roman now drives.
Good work. Well vacated by Daniel Olek to give his captain the space to operate down this right-hand wing. And a good chance. They've been penned in for a large majority of this second half, Germany. But they're now trying to put a bit of pressure on Streifel and Kiefler in the Austrian goal, sorry. I would be scared for either side to make substitutions. It'd be interesting to see who shows their hand first. Considering the scoreline, it looks like Germany will make a change. I can see Romy Puchk adorning one of the goalkeeper jerseys for Germany, readying herself to come on, no doubt, for Akacio Kossa. Roman now with a chance at goal, flicked into the side of Schreifel's chair. Jusic has to drop off and have faith in his captain.
Take the wheel, my view is blocked.
I will apologise, actually. I can now see that Michael Kiefler is wearing the captain's armband for Austria. So that means that I think all of Jusic, Kiefler and Streifel have all adorned the captain's armband throughout this tournament. So apologies if I've referred to Streifel as captain throughout this game. Germany have made that first substitution. And it's bringing on Romy Puchk for number 10, Akacio Kossa. You should have confirmation of that substitution on your screens now.
Bit of time wasting a little bit early on here. Potentially by Ilias Jusic. Great touch from Jakub Streifel to take it on the inside of Marco Roman. He's got Ilias Jusic there. Great pass back to Jakub Streifel, and Austria can break. Turns inside. Ilias Jusic with that ball. Tries to find Streifel, can't get around it. Ziegner now will pick up the ball, turn Marco Roman inside and drive towards the German box. Great passing movement from Austria.
Really nice option there from Ilias Jusic. Just guide it in the path of Jakub Streifel. And an opportunity wasn't necessarily as close as he wanted to be. Couldn't make connection with that 180 spin kick. Goes out for a German goal kick. And after 32 minutes, it still remains Germany 0, Austria 1, single Henry Ziegner goal. A quick pick-off from Ilias Jusic, sends it goal bound. That's going to brush the right-hand post. It's still in play. Henry Ziegner quick to maintain the attack for Austria. Efekano Namis can't quite put it in the path of Daniel Olek. Michael Kiefler committed to it and almost left a huge gaping hole behind him in the Austrian half.
I thought he'd driven past.
It's very similar to how Germany conceded in the first half.
That is the one weakness Germany have had when Romy Puchk has been on the field in goal. Those goal kicks have really been picked off by whichever team they've faced.
Yeah, well dropped off by Jusic. Did so in just enough time. Looking over to the Austrian bench, absolutely no movement. They don't want to switch or change this up when they're in the ascendancy. I very much doubt they'll make too many changes unless they are defensive ones in the final 7 minutes. Should Germany score, that would change their approach as Henry Ziegner has an effort at goal, and that was a lot closer than I thought it would initially be. Just wide of that left-hand post. And you have to say Austria are the better side, or certainly have been throughout this first 33.5 minutes. It will require a moment of magic for Germany to source an equaliser. Jusic driving down this left-hand wing. Romy Puch slightly unaware of the ball's placement. Not before a 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Austria. There's that complacency setting in. They'll be disappointed with that, and a really credible chance for Austria.
Germany have really struggled with their ball contact in this final, which has really not allowed them to get the passing game we've seen from them, especially more yesterday than.
I'm Schreifel. I'm firing it into the side of Roman's chair here. Does just that. Didn't quite get the right angle. Chance for Henry Ziegner. Brushes the left-hand post once again. That's the second time. He's had such good accuracy on that 180 spin kick. And he's been absolutely brilliant this game. He hasn't featured at the start for many of these Austrian group games. And it's too soon. Curse of the commentator and all that. But he's been the standout in this final. He picks
What
out.
have I been telling you, Ryan, this entire weekend?
Full credit to the Austrian number 11.
He is a player.
He's certainly shown up in these 35 minutes of this final. Germany just struggling to find the answer, and an unfortunate own goal from Germany sees Austria double their advantage. I'm not sure who it came off last, but complacency, lack of concentration, that is a bitter pill to swallow for the Germans.
That doubles Austria's lead. Will not be the way that they wanted to.
Let's get confirmation of that. I've had it confirmed. I think it was Marco Roman with the last touch. But
that really should seal it for Austria. As a substitution, number 11, Henry Ziegner.
Oh, full credit. I'll give him a round of applause before I confirm that substitution across your streams. We're going to get top goal scorer Carolina Songai coming on. And as it stands, not only will Austria be crowned EPFA Four Nations champions, Carolina Songai will be awarded top goal scorer.
I can't really work out how that own goal went in, but regardless, Austria will not care one bit. That should be the goal that secures them the EPFA Four Nations title. I'd be very amazed, but wouldn't put it past. That's
2-on-1, surely.
Advantage
well played by Millie Bean. But I beg the question, Greg. This team has been so effective, shown little to no weakness. Effective in both attacking and defensive phases of play. Why have they left it to the final to field this starting four? Now they've brought on Carolina Songai. But my God, it was Henry Ziegner good in the 35 or so minutes he featured. Marco Roman now looking to half the deficit. They'd need a goal within the next few seconds if they've got any chance to find a way back into this game. Jakob Schriefel happy to manage the game, keeping it between himself and Marco Roman, restricting FA Can Onanwis from getting possession. Carolina Songai brilliantly picking out Jusic. Can he guide it past?
Yes, he can.
The stationary Romy Puch, and what a goal. Carolina Songai, the diagonal pass across the face of goal. Romy Puch, little she could do to prevent that beautiful flick from Ilyas Jusic going over the line. I was distracted by the animation.
Really impressive jump from Leo.
Oh, it was. I'm not sure if it was picked up on stream, but it completely caught me by surprise. And Ilyas Jusic makes it Germany 0, Austria 3. Austria are going to be crowned EPFA Four Nations champions of 2023, and absolutely justifiably as well.
Oh, they've been dominant in this final.
Oh,
we did wonder after that first game of the tournament yesterday morning with that draw. The two sides, the two halves dominated either one.
Where was this Austria side last year in Geneva? With a team like this, they could have competed with Scotland and Belgium, who both finished first and second respectively. Germany secured European Championship qualification, finishing third, beating Spain in the semi-finals. But it just incredible to see. Austria finished 6th out of 7 possible teams. That is not what we're seeing across this weekend.
Germany now taking an opportunity to change not 1, not 2, but 3 players.
Let's get confirmation. It looks like Johannes Koch will be coming on. Marco Roman coming off. We're also having Feli Fischer come on for Germany. In her place, Efe Can Onanmis.
I think looking at the German bench, Nuri wanted to put the goalkeeper jersey on Marco Roman as a last throw of the dice, but Marco Roman, I think, saying to his coach, you know what, it's done.
Yeah.
No matter what we do now, it's not working.
And there's confirmation of them change. Cassio Costa back on in that central position, adorning the captain's armband. We've got 30 seconds left, so this isn't going to go to extra time. Austria are going to secure an emphatic victory, and absolutely rightfully so. Absolutely rightfully so. What a brilliant conclusion to what has been a brilliant tournament here in Munich, Germany. A fantastic advert for the sport of power chair football, but more importantly, the development of these nations in the central zone. Jusic with another attempt at goal. Romy Puchk has struggled since her introduction, unfortunately for her. And it looks like Carolina Songai will secure top goal scorer as well. Schreifel coming on to meet that, limited by Acacio Costa. We'll get the updated goal scorers at the full-time whistle.
The passion this Austrian side play with, led by Leo Vasily.
I can see Henry Ziegner down the line just imploring his team on, applauding them. A shame that Winfried Zwanziger and Moritz Ziegner are yet to feature in this final game, but they've all played their part into getting Austria here, and they're as much a champion as any of these starting 4 players.
Speaking from experience, being on the bench in the final, you don't care one bit if your side wins.
It's more than just the contributions on the court. The contributions off them are almost as valuable, if not more valuable, than scoring goals. The whole camaraderie and teamwork around these nations.
The whistle is in Millie B's mouth, ready to crown Austria EPFA 4 Nations champions for 2023. He Jusic. Bit of time wasting. The ball in, blocked by Listas Fischer. Jusic will be quite happy to keep this in the corner, soak up whatever time remains. And there is the full-time whistle. Austria are your EPFA 4 Nations champions 2023. A brilliant, emphatic performance, completely dominating from the first minute. Commiserations must go to our host Germany, who have played some fantastic football.
Oh, they really have. Full credit to them. And it's just a shame that it just started to click for Austria as the final game approached. And we saw signs of that. We kind of prophesied it to a certain degree. We could see the talent in the Austrian side, but they weren't necessarily fielding the correct players to suit the system they were adopting. But wow, it just clicked. They were firing on all cylinders. The man just in front of us now, just advancing to the right, Henry Ziegner. And we're going to say player of the match, surely. Has to go to the number 11, easily, Henry Ziegner.
Easily. You see what it means to the players. I mean, the joy on all of the Austrian faces. Tears for Ludwig Leinweber of Germany. They know what it means to all of them. As now they come over, both sets of players go towards their corners for their fans. Germany rightly getting a rousing round of applause for their efforts this weekend.
Yeah, and on your screens now you can see the Austrian players in front of their fans. Germany are to our right, but full credit to every single player, every team, every coach, every volunteer who's contributed to this fantastic tournament in Munich, Germany.
I'm getting,
you can see Leo Vasily. Look how animated he is. Just take a moment.
Phil Browder. Oh, Man City. He has waited his entire career for this moment. The passion, I'll say it once more, their transformation from Finland in 2019 to now is meteoric. That rise, the style of football they're trying to play, just incredible, thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, full credit, full credit. What a brilliant conclusion to this tournament. But I suppose I better go and help with the award ceremony. I think the stream will be live. I don't know if you'll have mine and Greg's commentary. So
just to sit on comms and just.
You're more than
welcome. Or has everyone
welcome.
had enough of my voice?
You're more than welcome to, Mr. Baxter. I think we've earned a nice, relaxing evening. I know you don't drink, so
we certainly have. So is everyone. Absolutely, it's been away from the football. It's been a fantastic tournament here in Munich.
Yeah,
we've had a brilliant time. It's been a privilege for myself and Ryan to be here. Every single person, whether referee, coach, player, fan, volunteer, hold themselves, hold their heads up high. Now you'll see, getting ready for the trophy presentation. Brian Dick. One last rallying cry from the Germans. Away to my right, you see Brian Dick just giving the trophy a little shine.
It's a very nice trophy at that.
It is, yes.
We're just going to bring the camera down. Let me just have confirmation of that score while they are doing that.
There it is. Austria 3, Germany 0. Austria, your EPFA Four Nations champions for 2023. You will be able to, I believe you'll be able to vote for a team of the tournament, right?
We'll certainly strive to get something up so we can recognise some of the individual performers in the context of their wider teams. If we talk about Italy, they'll be disappointed they weren't in the final. I'm sure they would have thought they could have competed against Austria well. They drew 0-0 in the group stage, and worth noting that Austria were down to 10 men. I'm fine-tuned. I'm fine-tuned to the running game of football, and but a great game.
But it was a different Austria
anyway,
as well. Austria.
Anyway, my point being that a number of the Italian players, for instance, Marco Ferrazza, to mention one, Irene Infantino, very effective in the duties that she performed.
Wherever she was.
As well as a number of them German players. Just because they won't be crowned champions doesn't mean they cannot be acknowledged. Marco Roman particularly, not to do a discredit to some of the other players. Obviously, F.A. Kano, Nanmis and Daniel Oleg both finished on 5 goals apiece. Deserve credit. Number 12, just to the right of myself and Greg, Ludwig Leinweber, I don't think featured in that final, was very good. In the minutes that he featured, really disappointed for him.
That is the joy and the woe of knockout tournament football. In a final, there has to be a winner, and there has to be a loser. There will be joy and there will be despair.
Yeah, they saved their best till last, Austria.
I was crying out for that starting lineup for Austria, and so it proved.
I think they've been listening back to our commentary.
Oh, clearly. So we're just saying all of that is because of us.
A few things that teams have picked up on across the tournament. So if mine and Greg's rubbish has resonated in any way, a real privilege.
That's what we're here for. Oh, rubbish.
Indeed. Thank
sure.
you to everyone that's tuned in. Obviously, there's no English-speaking countries present at the EPFA Four Nations. We're obviously still in kind of the developmental phase of ensuring commentary and streaming and communications at these international tournaments as they progress, and we look forward to potential European Championships and Champions Cups. as we did in Geneva. We will strive to ensure there's multi-language commentary to be as inclusive and as accommodating as possible.
Yeah.
You've certainly tried to adopt
I'm trying to pick up as much German as I can.
The German more than I have. But I think we're going to drop off commentary now, Greg. So thank you to everyone that has tuned in across the tournament. Any and all feedback very much welcomed. But let's all join in celebrating.
Let's be nice.
And acknowledging the achievements of the EPFA Four Nations champions, Austria.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Hello everyone, and for all of those still tuning in for the award ceremony, we'll get things underway in just a few moments' time. Just want to signify and recognise the achievements of all competing teams, players and coaches at the EPFA Four Nations 2023. We'll get things underway in just a short moment's time. Ready to get things underway in this award ceremony.
Nuri, is that all your goats there? Yes, you're all ready? Swiss? Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Just a few minutes. Guys, please. Normally this part would be Donald speaking, but unfortunately Donald's got COVID, so he wasn't able to attend. So he's asked me to say a few words on his behalf. Firstly, I'd like to thank Nuri for arranging the event. So ground staff and all. Thank you for the volunteers you brought in. Thank you for the beautiful food. I must admit, some of the food I ate today and yesterday was really, really good. Really bad for me, but really good. So thank you very much. I'd like to thank the volunteers. Without them, we can't do anything. Referees, of course. You know, love them or hate them, they're here and they're here to stay. So thank you very much. We couldn't do this without the teams here, and we've got 4 very new, fresh teams. We've got the Germans, Austrians, the Italians, and the Swiss. We couldn't get here without your helpers and carers, so for me, that's one of the biggest parts of Powerchair football, so thank you very much. We have another team behind the scenes you don't really see. You do hear them sometimes. Especially when they're speaking the right language. So thank you. Goes to Greg, to Alex, who's done a lot of the work behind the scenes and taking the photographs, and from Ryan, and especially for Ryan and Natalie. It's both their birthdays today, so happy birthday. So, without... Apparently, I wasn't meant to mention that, but hey, you know. So, along to the award ceremony now. In 4th place, a team who always battle hard, need more players. We'd love to have Switzerland with at least 10 players for a change. But with 4 players, 1 player, this is his first game he's played officially. So it's a big task for him to do, so thank you, Switzerland. To give the awards out for fourth place, I'd like to, you've probably seen him walking around the pitch, surveying the situation. He's a very good referee, and I'm sure if you don't know him, you will get to know him. Nicola, thank you very much. So, just players, please come take your awards.
So just coming forward to receive their medals for their fourth place finish. Number 14, Emmanuel Ratz first up, followed by Gwendol Del Plas, Gabriele Panico and Christophe Lopez. As mentioned by Brian, always battle, always give 100%, and hopefully the country can develop both on and off the court and progress, just as we've seen the other nations here in Munich do this weekend.
And the coaches, please.
The official coaches of Switzerland, Giovanni Bonabe and Kelly Dos Santos.
Thanks everybody, thank you.
That signifies our fourth place team.
Third place, a very vocal team. If they didn't win anything else, they definitely win the best spectators and loudest spectators I think we've ever had. So well done. To present your awards, I'd like to bring Kat up to bring the awards for the Italian team.
So to go through the Italian team here to receive their third place medals. Number 1, Luca McCurry. Presented by Head of European Referees, Carolyn Bean. Next up, Martina Latina. As Brian just mentioned, fantastic support throughout the tournament. You're hearing it now as Gabriele Zoggia comes to receive his medal. Next up, number 22, Simone Ranzato, one of Italy's brightest prospects. No doubt will be a key figure in years to come for the Azzurri. Arini Infantino, the Italian number 18, played a big part in their success this weekend. Captain Fantastic, Marco Ferrazza, an incredible player, as is the next player up, Gabriel Mindru. Didn't feature that much, but was present in that third place playoff, Donatella Soriano. And we'll acknowledge their coaches in Lorenzo Vandelli and Carlo Impera.
Okay, we come to the runners-up, who gave the Austrians a torrid time and played some great football during the weekend. Again, they come from nowhere really to one of the best young teams in Europe. So, with much pleasure for Natalie to award the trophies to the Germans.
Coming to get the runner-up medals, having finished second, losing the final 3-0 to Austria, but as was mentioned, incredible development over the last few years sees Germany become one of the brightest and most exciting teams in the European zone. First up, Marco Rollman. Cassio Cossa, number 10, next up. Number 7, Feli Fischer. Number 14, Johannes Koch. Number 9, very impressive across the EPFA Four Nations 2023 FA Can Onanmis. Another extremely bright talent for the German national side. Number 55, Daniel Olek. Number 13, Romy Puchk. Number 12, Ludwig Leinweber. Another very bright talent for the German national side. You can see a number of these players competing in many major European championships in years to come. Their coach, one of the key individuals around this whole competition. A huge congratulations and thank you from us to Nuri Onanmis.
To introduce the winner of this first Four Nation tournament in Europe, and a very big shout out to Austria.
Absolutely, an incredible team, worthy of the championship. Continue to grow throughout the tournament and worthy champions. We first welcome what looks like it will be the captain. Number 8, Michael Kiefler, played a key role in that final game, making a number of crucial saves at some crucial times. No doubt will be delighted receiving his gold medal.
Yes, of course.
Arthur Volman, number 1, up next. Could easily sit and talk about all of these players, providing justifications as to why they're champions and why they've done so well. Arthur Volman played his part, as did this player, Henry Ziegner. Both myself and Greg Baxter on commentary gave him player of the match in that final. Incredible player, deserves all the praise he's getting here. Moritz Ziegner up next. The number 10, very impressive. One of the key drivers of success in Austrian power chair football, Ilyas Jusic. Another fundamental player, Jakob Schriefel. Next up, the tournament's top goal scorer. All of her goals coming in one single game. The very impressive number 4, Carolina Songai.
hand this over. If ever you want to see somebody with the passion of park chair football, Leo's your man. What a Leo.
Leo Vasily getting his medal. An incredible character, as Brian has just mentioned. So I'll drop off commentary now as Austria come in to get the trophy. We'll get some pictures of that.
You happy with him, Alex? Yeah?
You bet. Yes.
Warte.